Kar Shalom, welcome to a Heinrich Edgecome art. In this gentle watercolor tutorial, we'll explore soft washes, muted tones, and the quiet beauty of falling leaves. Whether you're just beginning or returning to your creative rhythm, this step-by-step guide invites you to slow down, listen to the season's whispers, and paint with feeling. No pressure, just presence. Let the hush of the autumn guide your brush. For this painting, the paper is taped to a board which is flat on the table. We'll lift it and tilt it later to help the paint spread. So you can draw your own basic sketch of a few thin branches and some leaves, just to give you an idea of where you want to put everything on the paper. Wet the paper thoroughly with a large brush, like a Hake or a mop. Use a large, thirsty brush to add your background colors. The cooler colors at the top for depth and the warmer hues closer to the bottom to bring the whole thing more forward. Use enough pigment as the paint will disperse on the wet background. We experimented with a few convenience colors like Antwerp blue, which is close to Prussian blue, rose of ultramarine, Peroline maroon, serpentine chenion, and imidazolone brown. Now you can mix your own color combinations, but it can be tricky to get the same combination mixed again, so convenience colors do have their place. You don't need to rinse the brush every time. Pick up the colors and add them randomly. They will create their own magic mixes on the paper. So throughout the video, we'll cover layering of translucent color for atmospheric depth and creating texture with minimal strokes, and also using silence and space as part of your composition. Once you're satisfied with your combination, you can lift the board and tilt it side to side, up and down, top to bottom, any which way you want to help the colors spread and fuse. Remember to use a paper towel to lift off or wipe off the excess water and paint on the sides on the taped edges to prevent seepage underneath the tape. You can keep tilting the board until you have a smooth, soft background. Now you can use the large brush again and splatter the same pigments into the wet background. Tilt the paper again to let the splatter spread. Then splatter in some more blue and a few dashes of clean water. The water helps to create some light spots. Now here's the tricky part. You have to let your paper dry a little bit. It should still be damp for the next part, and this is going to take a little bit of skill from you. So use a thin brush like a Chinese calligraphy brush to add some background twigs. Use your pigment in a bit stronger, and adding the pigment here will make the paint spread on the damper areas to create soft edges, and it will stay put on the drier areas to create hard edges, all of which will help to create the depth. Add a few more splatters. You can see that the splatters also stay where the paper is drier and fuses into the background where the paper is damper. You can use a paper towel again if you want to lift out some light spots or if you think your splatters are too dark. Once again, you can also add some more water drops if you need to. Just be careful, don't make it too wet, because then it will cause really big cauliflowers. So just a few light drops of water just to add that little bit of light again. All these techniques help to create texture in your background. You have now created a quiet background, which is ready to accept the beauty of the autumn leaves. So, let the painting dry thoroughly. Our next step is to add detail. Use the thin brush again with some of the Winsor orange to draw your branches. You will charge the base layer with the browns to create the branches. They should have dimension, so you will need lighter and darker areas to create a 3D effect. You will achieve this by adding some blue and the darker colors to the shadow areas. Try not to use the same color combinations on all the branches. Use some brown and blue, or brown and green, or even some yellow to create variety. This will help to create harmony and avoid uniformity. Let your painting dry again. For the leaves, you can now use a cat's tongue or flower brush or any other larger brush to paint them. The same principle applies as when you painted the branches. No two leaves are exactly the same, so give them a yellow base color and then charge them lightly with your other colors. Charge them with green, with brown, with a perylene, with a bit of red if you used red. Just use the colors that give you that autumn feeling. Use a combination of all the colors on your palette to create a dark brown for the shadows. Here you won't paint solid lines, just dots and dashes here and there to create texture in the branches. Don't forget, even though it is autumn, there will still be a few green leaves turning brown, so bring those in as well to make the transition to autumn look more natural. For paintings like these, you don't always have to rinse your brush. The colors that you pick up each time will fuse and create beautiful new color combinations that will give interest to your painting. Add some more splatters for texture. You may feel that you are doing the same thing over and over, but that is what layering is all about. Each layer brings its own magic to the painting. You can let the painting dry again. You can now use a thin rigger or a liner brush to add thin lines of shadow and a few accents or details. You can also add a few thin twigs here and there. Now you have a choice. You can let the painting dry here again, or you can go directly with a gouache or white acrylic to draw in the highlights. Highlights bring that extra touch of light and shimmer to your creation. Keep it simple and very loose. Nothing here needs to be precise, as it will deprive your eyes from their own interpretation. We all experience the fall or autumn differently. For some, it's the prospect of coming snow. For others, it's the foreboding of a cold, stark winter. What does autumn feel like to you? In color, in memory, in mood? We'd love to hear how you interpret the quiet of fall. Please like, subscribe, and leave us your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Vaya con Dios.